to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home. And then it would be like, home to my heart. And I'm trying to learn, like I said, I'm teaching myself. So I just got this ukulele a couple weeks ago. I think that the song would do better on a guitar. I didn't look up anything. I was just playing with it and figured it out. I'm like, hey, I can do this. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. I got some stuff out, but not enough. I'm kind of just getting things set up. I should have done it earlier. I should have did the story yesterday so I could get up early and do it today. It's not too late to start putting things out. It just feels too late. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. And it starts kind of the same way as the I had it earlier. Like I said, I'm teaching myself. So, like, when I say teaching myself, I mean, like, literally, I'm not even, like, looking up how these notes work. I don't know what any of these notes are. I just picked it up and I realized I can hear the notes in my head and I can find them. So, I'm teaching myself. And then it'd be night when Christ was born. I don't know, that note right there throws me off a little. I haven't heard it since, like, I don't know, Christmas or maybe last Christmas. I don't know. I'm literally just going off of, like, memory. So fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, night. I don't know. Like I said, if I hear it again, I could probably figure it out. But then the other one was from All Dogs Go to Heaven. The other one that I learned, I taught myself. And the beginning of the song is the one where it's all I have is a picture in my mind how it would be if we were together. Let's pretend that you're far away. Let's say you write to me, and you promise in your letter you'll come home to, oh, that note was wrong, my heart, and then it fucks me up because I gotta hear it again. I think if I hear it again I'll be able to do it, but soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home yeah, I'm just teaching myself. Since I probably am not going to get to the yard sale like I intended, I'm probably going to focus more on cleaning and, like, prepping. If I don't sell a lot of the things, I'm probably just going to want to start over. Just get rid of things and start over. I'd rather get them out of the way and have a clean, fresh slate. Even though I don't have the money to replace everything, but whatever. Money comes and goes. I could get one new thing every month or something. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. You know, I never thought of myself as a musician. I didn't know I had it in me. And here I am 40 years old and realizing I can feel music. And I never could before, so I don't know why it's different now or what's really changed. But this isn't... I mean, the only thing I could do before, like in the past, was... Hold on. I could do that. I did teach myself that. And, I just taught myself this the other day. And, what was the other one? Hold on, I gotta remember what was it. Oh, wait, give me a second, okay. See if you can recognize it. And... oh, well, I can't do the second part yet. I'm still teaching myself, but... well, whatever. Frere yes! Exactly. I'm teaching myself. Oops, wrong one. And, like I said... I don't know. And, soon you'll come home, home to my heart. So, yeah. That's what I've taught myself thus far. I keep going live. Well, yeah, I need... So TikTok is like a second job for me, and I really need to be making more because I work so hard, so much in my other job, and it feels like it just is never enough. And I think it's because of the gas to get there. So I'm like, if I can just get my TikTok to make enough money, like to supplement, you know, going to work, then once the kids are home, I could live comfortably with them without needing any assistance. My goal is to not have any kind of assistance. People think, you know, everyone like just wants it, but believe it or not, assistance doesn't cover everything. You know, like food assistance, that's all I would get. Food assistance doesn't cover everything. People are like, oh, you had you had kids because you wanted food stamps. It's like, why the fuck would I do that? I was 14. You think at 14 I had a baby because I wanted food stamps? No. And they don't give you enough to even cover the food. And what about Christmas? And what about bills? And what about clothes? And what about shoes? You know, if I didn't have kids and I only had myself, it would be a lot cheaper. So why would I have kids for food stamps? That doesn't make sense. I'm not saying there aren't people who do that, but I feel like the only way that would work is if you starve your kids. Like, they would just not eat. So that's not an option. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home. And the second part is home to my heart, but I haven't figured that part out yet. So, brush my hair, I actually have multiple times. So my hair is stringy, and it's probably a lot to do with the fact that when I was in the coma, a lot of my hair was just brushed out and ripped out. So even though I just brushed my hair, it still looks stringy. It's probably better if I like put it up, because then you can't tell, but yeah, whatever. But I literally just brushed my hair like 10 minutes ago. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. If I keep dreaming of you, start believing it's true. Soon you'll come home to my heart. The hospital didn't rip my hair. The hospital just didn't take care of me. They didn't care. So my hair got matted. So when my sister came, she spent 4 hours trying to get the knots out for me. Otherwise, I would have had to have my head shaved. And it ripped a lot of my hair out. And so it was either that or, like I said, shave my head. So I just went this route. My hair takes too long to grow. Now, if my hair grew like my son Shadow, and if you don't know, Shadow is the one formerly known as Dash, I'm trying to switch over to calling him Shadow. Or you could call him Onyx. He prefers either. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Look, I'm a performer now. Oh yeah, no, it was pretty awful. I don't like to think too much about being in the hospital because it gives me so much anxiety, but it was a horrible experience. People are like, oh, you were in a coma for a couple days, and it's like, okay, I was in a coma for nearly a week, and when I woke up, it wasn't like waking up from being asleep. It's not like, ugh, what a nap I had. All right, time to get up. When I woke up, I was so confused. I couldn't move. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I didn't understand that I still had, like, tubes going in my neck and my arms and my groin and in my privates. And, like, I didn't understand what was happening to me. And it took several days for me to become more aware of my surroundings, I guess you would say. Like, I did not know that I had, like there's because I had to have dialysis because my kidney was failing. It turns out they're the reason my kidney was failing, because they had this irrigation system going where they were pumping a bunch of fluid in me and it was supposed to come out, but it wasn't. And so it was filling up my bladder and fucking overloading my kidney, and it got so bad that I had to pull the catheter aside and force myself to piss the bed. And it was horrible and it was embarrassing and I had no choice. I was in tears. I was like begging, please give me a bedpan, please. And she's like, you're fine. You're fine. They just make you feel like you have to pee. You don't have to pee. You have a catheter. I was like, no, you don't understand. It hurts so bad. I was like in agony. And I fucking pulled that thing aside and just let the pee out. And at first I was peeing blood clots. Like blood clots. And they were like, oh, it's just your period. I was like, my period is over. It's blood clots. It's coming out of my pee hole. It's coming out still cold. Okay, the pee is coming out cold and full of blood. And so they figured out that they needed to stop the little irrigation system, and then my kidney started to improve, and it was a horrible experience. They had this thing going up my butt, and they were giving me medicine to give me diarrhea so that it would go into the thing going in my butt. And I was like, I'm awake now. I don't need this anymore. And then it started leaking. So I'm literally just sitting in a puddle of my own diarrhea and like begging them to take it out, and they wouldn't take it out. So I took it out, which I shouldn't have done. And I probably caused some damage, but I had to. I couldn't just sit there. They didn't want me to get out of bed. They told me no, I had to have physical therapy first. And I refused to wait for that. I just got up. And I was too weak, and it was hard, but it didn't matter. I wasn't going to just sit there and rot. I had to force myself up so that I could get stronger. Well, anyways, so that's what happened. Thank you, Fun Vibes and Chill. I appreciate your positive, supportive comments. Soon you'll come home to my heart. Soon you'll come home to my heart. If I keep dreaming of you, I'll start believing it's true. Soon you'll come home to my heart. And then, of course, the Christmas one that I do, the wow, I accidentally hit this one with my nail. I gotta start over. Did I join karaoke hour? I have had a lot of time to heal from the coma. As far as it being self-inflicted, I've already told you I don't really have a memory of what happened. I was taking Tylenol for my wisdom teeth. I do remember being depressed. Genuinely do remember being extremely depressed, but I don't actively remember hurting myself. Either way, regardless, it was not like I wanted to be in a coma. You think it was a strategic plan? You know what I'd like to do today? I'd like to be in a coma. I'd like to go through hell. And the mind can sometimes take a while to heal, and so can the body. It can take people years to heal from something like that. It's not as simple as you think it is. Like I said, a coma isn't, oh, I took a nap for a few days, I'm all better now. It has lasting impact on the whole body, the whole mind. And I have been healing, and I have been getting better, but I do still have my struggles. But I think that learning to crochet and learning music is therapeutic for my mind. I don't have the most mechanical mind. Fixing things is so overwhelming for me. Paperwork, also overwhelming for me. But art and music is different. It makes me feel more relaxed. And it seems to be the only thing I am able to learn right now. I don't even know how I'm doing this. Like I said, I haven't listened to these songs in forever. I didn't look up. I don't even know what any of these notes are. I don't know what I'm doing. I just hear the notes and then I play with it until it sounds right. So. Was born, and I'm agnostic, so it's funny that this song is in my head. But and then Mary Had a Little Lamb is easy. You could literally play it anywhere as long as you're doing like every other. So like I could also do it. Like literally, Mary Had a Little Lamb is so easy, you can do it anywhere. But then I learned, this one was years ago, but I had to remember it. And obviously this thing needs to be tuned. This is just a freaking ukulele. It's not even a guitar. It's just like I feel music lately. And I want to learn to sing and I want to learn to play music. I want to express myself with music. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Some guy is like the same shit over and over. He's yelling at his girlfriend or something. It's funny. Teaching myself. So okay, it's not perfect, but I'm teaching myself. Literally teaching myself. I feel like people say teaching themselves and the people think, oh, you know, you're looking at a book, you're looking at notes. I'm not even doing that. I'm literally just hearing the notes, feeling the notes. So yeah, it's not 100% perfect, but you guys are like watching me learn. So All I have is a picture in my mind how it would be if we were together. Let's pretend that you're far away. Let's say you write to me, and you promise in your letter you'll come home to my... That's where I mess up. Heart. Soon you'll come home to my heart. Soon you'll come home to my heart. If I keep dreaming of you, start believing it's true. Soon you'll come home to my heart. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to teach myself, but I can only do so much, you know? Like I said, I don't have a guitar, I have a ukulele, and I'm teaching myself. No one ever taught me how to play, so I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just wanted to show you guys that I'm learning something, you know? I just want to share that with you. I feel like that's part of my healing journey, is discovering that I have music in me, that I have more of a musician's soul than I realized. And I should have known. Every time I see a piano, I need to touch it. Soon you'll come home to my heart. 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 Sorry, I accidentally forgot to lift my finger up off the one before it. I'm still learning. Thank you. Oh, what's going on? I just am learning how to play probably the guitar, but it's a ukulele. I think I need a guitar for what I'm doing. I don't feel good lately. I haven't eaten anything today, but it's because my stomach feels messed up lately. I've been trying to stop eating meat because my body really can't process it. I've been trying to get away from it more and more, but I did have a burger earlier this week. It's like, excuse me, sometimes my stomach just burns. So I didn't eat today. I got some water, and I had a Monster because I was gonna try to get the yard sale done. I think that I'm just gonna work on the house. I had this brilliant idea that I'm gonna have a girls' room and a boys' room for the little kids, and then Shadow and Darla will have their own room, and I'll have a room and a playroom. I was gonna have a pantry, but I'll worry about that later. Right now, playroom. In the future, I'll move the playroom to the basement, and then we'll have a breakfast room. Soon you'll come home to my heart. And it's hard, being alive. It's like everybody hates me because I was weak and I didn't feel like I could stand up to my ex who was abusive to me. If I had known how awful he was, if I had known sooner, maybe I could have done things differently, but I didn't know. And my oldest is out here telling people that I knew more than I did, and I feel like that's really unfair, and it hurts my feelings a lot that somebody that I love and I trusted is like purposely twisting the situation to make me seem like this mean person when it's not even what happened. The thing that I did that was wrong, so in 2016, my daughter did say that she didn't know if she was a virgin. She never said, your husband abused me. What she said was, I don't know if I'm a virgin. And to be honest, I didn't believe anything happened. But I didn't like my ex. He had been disrespectful to her, to me. He would make inappropriate jokes. He would break our stuff if we tried to leave the house. He would disable the vehicle if we wanted to do anything together. I was only allowed to leave if I was with him or if I was going to work. Unless I specifically had his permission, like I wasn't allowed. And so I thought that she had made the decision to lie to get him in trouble so that he'd finally be gone. And like, it sounds terrible, but I felt so bad, okay? So in my mind, it was a justifiable lie. But just in case, just to be sure, I did take her to be examined. They told me she's a virgin. So to me, that's like, okay, so she is probably making it up. That's fine. But then I felt so bad. Like, here he's getting arrested and he's getting in trouble and he didn't even do it. I mean, yeah, he's an asshole and he breaks our stuff and he makes inappropriate jokes and he used to slap her on the ass, which I hated. It was disgusting. It was vulgar to me. Like, how are you, like, that's not okay. And he'd be like, you just don't know because you don't have a dad. I hated it. She hated it. And it needed to stop. But I'm like, but that's not what he's being accused of. And I just felt guilty and I felt terrible. And I fucking cried and cried and cried and cried. And then my daughter was like, you know what? Nothing happened. And I was like relieved. I'm like, okay, we can't be like saying he did something he didn't do, you know? So when she wanted to recant, I was like, thank fucking God he didn't do it. Because I was like, did he or didn't he? Like, I truly believed he didn't, okay? But there was still but did he? But when she recanted, I was like, fucking good. Obviously, she just wanted him gone. So before he could come back, he had to do anger management, and he had to do therapy, and he had to show that he was changed and he wasn't going to be disrespectful anymore. And when he came back, he really had changed. He was not disrespectful to her anymore. Never ever slapped her on the ass again. Their relationship was completely different. They would like drink together, joke together. If anything, they would like team up against me in situations like it was them against me. But overall, it seems like the problem was gone. So when people say, oh, he raped your daughter and you stayed with him. No, he didn't rape my daughter. He was inappropriate, but I did not know anything until years later. All I knew was, I don't know if I'm a virgin. Oh, she is a virgin. Oh, just kidding. I take it back. So, do you understand from my perspective? I did not know anything. All I knew is he was an asshole. We wanted him gone. She said something happened, and I was all like, you know what? Yup, something happened. Like I thought it was like yeah, something happened. But I didn't tell her to say something happened. I thought it was like, she was saying it and I'm like, okay, something happened, like, let's get rid of him kind of thing. But like I said, I felt so guilty, like this isn't right, he didn't do anything, he shouldn't be getting in trouble for it. I felt sick to my stomach, like he's sitting in jail for something he didn't do. Little did I know he did. Little did I know he actually deserved it. I did not know until years later. And when I first was told, again, I wasn't told any kind of details. It was super vague, and I still didn't know. And I just couldn't accept it. It was like 1 minute I'm like, oh my God, he's a piece of shit, kicked him out. And then the next minute it's like, oh, he's just coming over to help out. I don't know how to explain it other than it was as if I would get some sort of amnesia. It's like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't accept it, and I would forget And it was like a temporary forget. I would remember again, and I'd be like, oh my God, why are you in my house, you fucking horrible person? Get out. I'm sorry, I get myself worked up, like, when I think about it. And I'm trying not to have panic attacks anymore. But it's like he would trick me. I don't know. I just want my family. I don't know why I'm being accused of this. I'm innocent. So to me, it was like, until I know for sure, I don't know what to do. And then I was having the health issues, and Donnie was having the health issues, and I couldn't deal with it. I wasn't told, like I said, I wasn't told what happened until recently, like literally so recently, like a few months ago. I didn't know. I just knew that something may have happened. And I did kick him out. Should I have gone to the police immediately? Maybe that would have been the correct thing, and probably it would have been the correct thing, but the people who were saying he hurt them would not agree to go to the police, and there was nothing I could do. I actually learned a long time ago, because it's just the way it is. If I say he was abusive, because I did this before, I went to a domestic violence shelter because if he was abusing me, and they didn't believe me. It was my word against his, and that's one thing that I was afraid of. I'm like, okay, so let's say he's guilty. Let's say he's guilty and he really is a bad person, and I call the cops and they take him away, but nobody believes me, and his victims will not testify, so it's my word against his. And then what? What if he still is able to get joint custody? He gets joint custody, and now the kids are alone at his house, and I can't protect them at all. So it was almost as if I had this false sense of security that if he's kicked out, but he just comes over to help, then the kids who don't know he's a bad person will still have their dad, and I'll still have help with the things I need help with, and he can't hurt anybody, you know? Like, that's how I imagined it, you know? So it sucks, and it sucks that everybody's pissed off and they blame me, but I was in this really shitty situation where I was very sick and didn't know if I was going to die, and my son was very sick and I didn't know if he was going to die, and it was just so hard and so heavy, and I needed help, and the only person who was helping me was the person who hurt me, who hurt my family. I didn't know what to do. And, you know, I feel like if I could go back with the mind I have now, maybe I would have done things very differently, but I couldn't at that time. And if you know anything about narcissistic abuse, maybe you'll understand what I'm saying. And if you don't, you're going to be like, what a piece of shit. What do you mean you had amnesia? What do you mean you couldn't believe it? I don't know what to tell you other than that's just what happened. And I felt so bad about it. People are like, oh, take accountability. It's like, do you think I didn't blame myself? Do you think I didn't fucking hate myself and blame myself and say, how did I not know? For years, you know, I've blamed myself, and I'm trying to forgive myself and let go of the past and recognize that, you know, I was just in a bad situation with a person that manipulated me and abused me, and I was scared and frozen and I didn't know what to do. And that doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means I was a person in a bad situation. And other people are like, no, you were a bad person. Fuck you. And it's like, okay, fine. You can believe that if you want. But I know my heart. I know that I love my family. And I know that I hated my ex. But it was just a bad situation that I just didn't know what to do. And maybe if COVID hadn't just happened, and maybe if I wasn't in the hospital, in and out of the hospital, and maybe if my son wasn't in and out of the hospital, maybe if I wasn't already so scared and vulnerable, I would have been strong enough to deal with the situation, and I couldn't. And I've literally apologized already to my oldest. I've literally apologized so many times. I'm so sorry that I didn't believe you. I'm so sorry that I didn't know. I'm so sorry I didn't do more. But what could I do when the victims wouldn't even say anything? As soon as a victim was willing to say something, he was completely out of the picture. Sorry, my anxiety starts acting up and it makes me feel weak. Anyways, So now I have to try to heal my mind and forgive myself for the things that I couldn't do, while the person that should have been healing with me has decided that I'm the enemy. And that is so heartbreaking, because this should have been our time to heal together. Why create new problems that didn't need to exist? Why would you do that? Like, I don't understand. We should have been together with this. We should have been healing together. We should have been fighting him together. We should have been a family. And I feel like someone got in her ear and just convinced her that I was a piece of crap. I mean, she was messaging me talking about, oh, I read this, I saw the screenshots, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what are you even talking about? And accusing me of things I didn't do because some person decided to make a fake account pretending to be me and leaving vulgar comments and messaging themselves and just being a piece of shit. Honestly, I wish I could just sue that person, but it's probably a minor. It's probably a kid. So there's nothing I can do anyways. Part of me is like, do I really want to heal a relationship with somebody who abandoned me when I needed them most? Like, I was fresh out of the hospital, almost died, scared and vulnerable, and needed my family. And instead of being there for me, like, that this is the time, this is the moment you choose to betray me. Like, we were supposed to be healing. And I've asked, I'm like, can we just have a truce? Can we just work through our issues? No, just ignores me, blames me for everything that went wrong was all my fault. And that's fine, and that's your perspective, and you want to blame me for everything, fine. I'm so glad that you have a good boyfriend who supports you and loves you and has never put you in this position. But other people, many other people have experienced what I've experienced, and they know and they understand. I really, 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 really want to take my bad situation and learn to help other people so that they can get out sooner. When you're in it, when you're with an abuser, it's like they trick you into thinking you love them, and it isn't love, it's fear. And you feel like you can't get away, and you feel like you're gonna die if they leave. And it's not love at all, but you think it is until you've healed, or until you're away from the situation enough. And I can look back, and the last time I loved him, like actually loved him, was way in the beginning, probably before, maybe right after Shadow, my son, formerly known as Dash, maybe right after he was born. That's the last time I genuinely loved him. I feel like everything after that was fear. Everything after that was a feeling of helplessness. Like, I couldn't get away, and I relied on him, and I depended on him, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I think that he exploited that. I think he recognized that I grew up without a dad, and I really thought it was important for children to have a father. So he just figured he could do whatever. He could get away with whatever, because he knew that it was so important to me that my kids have a dad. I knew he was abusive to me. I did not know he was abusive to anyone else. And yes, it is true that my oldest did tell me that she wasn't sure if she was a virgin. But she did not specifically say he abused her or what happened. Not until years later, like way after, like after he was already kicked out, then she started talking about it. But sounds so horrible. I really, truly thought she was just making it up to get rid of him, and I supported it. I was like, hell yeah, fuck him. But I felt so bad about it. And I felt like a piece of shit. I felt like he was getting in trouble for something he didn't do, and I felt sick. I felt horrible. I felt ashamed. And it's disgusting because he let me think that. He let me believe that he was innocent when he wasn't. He let me believe that everything was going to be better, and that he was just immature, and he's changed now, and he's a better person now. And he wasn't. And that's a pain I have to live with, you know, being wrong, being so wrong. Like, I have to live with that. And everybody hating me, like I don't already hate myself. Everybody telling me to be accountable, like I don't already blame myself, like I shouldn't have already known, like I don't already feel like a fucking idiot. I thought he was a good dad. And he wasn't. Maybe a lot of the kids did think he was a good dad. Maybe a lot of the kids, if they would tell you from their perspective, they'd be like, yeah, he was a great dad. I don't know what the fuck happened. But then others who were aware, or were made aware, they have a different perspective. You know, Adam would tell you that he used to get spankings all the time, and that he was afraid of his dad. And that I knew. And when I would try to get help, and when I would tell people, I don't think he should be spanking the kids this much or this hard, they would always say that that's what parents do, and that I was wrong, and that I should hit them more, and that's why they don't listen to me, and blah, blah, blah. And so even though I felt it was wrong, at the time, I felt like maybe I'm wrong. And I thought he stopped too, by the way. I thought he had agreed that he wasn't hitting them anymore, and I thought he wasn't. I thought, like, for example, Mara, I was convinced Mara's never had a spanking in her entire life. She's just had a perfect life and everything's great. I didn't know that he was actually hitting her. He would do it when I was at work. And nobody mentioned it. Nobody was like, hey, Mom, Dad's freaking hitting me. I didn't know. I thought that he'd gotten better. I thought that all the abuse was all on me, and I thought even that had gotten better. There was times, sure, where he was still like condescending or disrespectful to me, but for the most part it had gotten better. Like, I started being able to like make friends and stuff without him breaking my stuff. Like, it actually seemed like it had gotten better, and all it was he just learned how to hide it better. I love my kids. I love all my kids, even my oldest, who I'm fighting with. And now, when I say that I thought she was lying, I'm not saying like, oh, well, she's a bad person, she was lying. That is absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he was terrible. He would smack her on the butt. He would make inappropriate jokes. Like, if her period was late, he would rub her on the belly and say, oh, our baby. Weird ass shit like that. It would piss me off. It would piss her off. If we tried to leave the house, he would disable the vehicle, or he would break our stuff if we actually did leave. He would break our stuff. He would rip her posters off the wall. If he didn't like one of her shirts, he would rip it up and throw it in the trash. And we wouldn't even necessarily know. We would find it in the trash and be like, why the fuck? We started thinking the house was haunted. Like, literally thought the house was haunted because of the weird shit that was happening, and then realized later that it was fucking him. And I'm agnostic, by the way. I'm not even saying I believe in ghosts. Like, it was so... I felt insane. I felt crazy. Like, I would be like, did you do that? And he'd be like, no, I didn't do it. I don't know. That's so weird. He was such a piece of shit. So when she said, I don't know if I'm a virgin, even though I didn't tell her to lie, like, let me be clear, I did not tell her to lie. I thought she was lying. And so from my perspective, it was like, I see what you're doing. Yes, of course. Yes, you can talk to the cop. You know what I mean? Like, I thought she was lying, and I was absolutely for it. Like, all right, you know what? Fuck him. Yeah, get rid of him. And because there was still the, like, I don't know, though, like, what if I did take her to be examined? They told me she was a virgin. I thought they talked to her, and they examined her, and determined that she was a virgin. I did not know until later that she just didn't want to be examined or talk. I did not know that. When I say later, I mean, like, within the last couple weeks. Like, really super recently. She also recently said that he had threatened her. I don't know when, because she never got into detail. I don't know when that threat was made. I don't know if he contacted her after he was already out of the house. I don't know if it was just something he had said before he was kicked out. I don't know when it happened, because I was never told. All I know is he had threatened her. And so that was another reason that she had recanted. Or maybe it was the only reason. I don't know. But she says that I made her feel guilty. probably did, because I thought that she was fucking lying, and I was fucking devastated, and I was fucking crying on the couch for like a week straight, maybe 2 weeks. I don't even know anymore. The timeline is screwy. I just remember thinking to myself that he was innocent and he was in trouble for something he didn't do. I was sick, okay? I was like crying until I wanted to throw up because I felt so bad. Like I was, you know, like it was my fault. Like I was allowing this to happen. I was allowing him to get in trouble for something he didn't do. And because I felt so guilty, it's almost like I forgot all the other bullshit. I was like, you know, listen, hey, if you'll get counseling and you'll do therapy and you stop being an asshole. Oh, I'm sorry, counseling and therapy is the same thing. He did anger management. And if he did anger management and therapy and stop being an asshole, then we could forgive the past and move on. And that's what I thought was happening. I thought he was disrespectful. Yes. I thought he was inappropriate, like with the inappropriate jokes and that butt smacking. Absolutely. Yes. He convinced me that that was normal behavior. Not really convinced me, tried to convince me, and I was still like, abso-fucking-lutely not. It has to stop. It's wrong. So it's like, from my perspective, it's like, yes, he's inappropriate, but not, is that really abuse? I mean, I've smacked my toddlers on the bottom before playfully. Maybe he thinks it's the same. Maybe he genuinely thinks that it's okay and he doesn't understand that he's being inappropriate, and now he's learned his lesson and he's being okay. No, he knew he was being a piece of shit. He was being a horrible, disgusting person, and I didn't know. All I knew was that he was making inappropriate jokes, that he was breaking the stuff. And so when he was accused, I thought he was innocent, and that's something I felt so guilty about. I was like, oh my God. Like, I'm letting him get in trouble for something he didn't do. Yes, he's a piece of shit, and he deserves to be in trouble, but he didn't do that, and it ripped my heart out. But he did, actually. He did do it. And that, it's like a roller coaster of me constantly feeling like everything is my fault, me constantly feeling guilt and shame and blaming myself, and everything is always my fault. So again, when people say, oh, take accountability, it's like, I need to forgive myself for being wrong and for making, wrong, for being wrong. I need to forgive myself for being wrong. Now is not the time for me to be like, oh, it's all my fault. I've already been doing that. Trust me. Now is the time for me to forgive myself and recognize that I was manipulated and it was a bad situation, and he was a very good manipulator. He's still a good manipulator. There are still people, even now, who think that he's innocent, who think that I put his victims up to it so that I could get the house and so I could get custody of the kids, and they're all, oh, poor Marty. And they're helping him, and they're giving him a place to live, and they're giving him a job, and they're helping him, and they care so much about him, and they all hate me, and they think I'm a piece of shit. They probably hate my oldest too, probably think that, she's a lying piece of shit, and she's not. She wasn't. The lie was the recant. The lie was her being scared and saying it didn't happen, and that makes me sick too. To think that she had to say that he didn't do it when he did. And that she had to live with that. Like, from her perspective, that's horrible. And I could see why she's angry. And I wish that she understood. I wish we had healed together. I wish she understood from my perspective, but she doesn't. When I try to explain to her that I thought that nothing had happened, and I thought that things were getting better, it makes her angry. She gets so pissed off. She's like, it makes me sick whenever you say that. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm telling you. I'm trying to heal with you. I'm trying to explain to you what happened from my perspective. That, yes, I blame myself for everything. I always blame myself for everything. And one of the reasons he was able to get away with it is because we didn't sleep in the same bed together, him and I. For years, I had a bed, and he spent all night playing video games. And he would sleep either on the couch or on the floor. He almost never used a bed. So him not coming to bed at night or whatever wasn't weird. He just didn't. And why would I trust this man? Well, I trusted him because I was married to him. He was a military police officer. He was somebody that I knew in childhood. He was someone I thought I could trust. There was one point where I, for 1 year, lived elsewhere and just worked and just gave him the money to take care of the kids because I felt like he was a better parent than me, and I felt like I couldn't do it. And this was a long time ago. This was when Darla was a baby. Okay, I just worked and I gave him money, and he had the kids all to himself. As far as I know, And again, this is as far as I know, and I could be wrong, but as far as I know, he was a good dad at that point, besides the spanking. He was still a good dad. I don't know what the fuck happened or what went wrong or when, or maybe, who knows, maybe he wasn't a good dad, or maybe he just made it more obvious later. I don't know. But he had the kids. When I worked, he took care of the kids for years and years. So there was no reason for me to believe I couldn't trust him. Like, think of somebody that you know. Think of somebody you trust more than anything. You would absolutely trust them with your kids. And now think somebody said something vague about them. Just vague. You know, would you just immediately believe it to be true? I'm telling you, like, the person you trust the most. Would you just automatically assume it must be true? And they didn't even tell you what happened. They just said a vague statement. I don't know. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm telling you that I feel like shit about it. I hate myself for it. I wish I could change things, but do I? If I could change things, then the kids I have wouldn't exist. I don't know. I can't change the past anyways. And I say this, I can't change the past. I can learn from it, and I can move forward, and I can forgive myself for being wrong. And I really, truly wish I could have healed with my oldest instead of the fighting over something stupid, fighting over the definition of words. That's literally the only thing we're fighting about, by the way. Right now, we are fighting about the definition of words. That's it. There's nothing else in the fight. But she's mad about things. She's mad that I didn't do more to protect her. And I can't blame her. Like I said, I'm not blaming her for recanting. She was scared. I just wish that she understood my perspective. I wish she understood that I just wanted my family to be okay, and I wanted everything to be okay. I wanted everything to be better. And for a very, very little while, it seemed like we had worked out all the issues and things were finally okay. Things were finally okay, and then I found out the truth, and I just couldn't accept it, and it was like amnesia. It's like I would forget, and then I would remember, and then I would forget, and then I would remember, and then I would forget, and then I would remember. It's like I had numbed myself, so I couldn't feel. I couldn't feel until I felt too much. I couldn't feel until I was crying myself sick and wanting to not be alive anymore. And it's just so hard, and in a way, I am almost glad that my kids aren't home, because I needed this time to heal so that when they come home, everything will be better for them. And I know people don't understand that. They're like, she said she's glad her kids aren't home. That's not it. I want my kids taken care of. And I am a fucking mess right now. Emotionally, I've been a wreck. I just fucking cry sometimes so much. And I don't want them to see it. But I do feel like I'm getting a lot better. Like, I haven't had a panic attack in months. Other than, like, it's like I start to, and then it stops. I haven't had a full-blown panic attack in months. I really feel like I'm getting better, and I need to forgive myself for the things that I couldn't control and for being wrong. And I want to be able to help other people. It is so hard, because even when you're with someone abusive, even when you can see it, unless there's a clear way out, it's like you convince yourself that you love that person because there is no way out. You have to love that person because you can't get away. And I think it's kind of like Stockholm Syndrome. You are like, okay, yeah, I love this guy. I'm here because I want to be. You're not there because you want to be. You're there because you can't get away. And that's why I wish that domestic violence shelters were better. I wish their goal wasn't to hurry up and get you out as fast as possible. I wish their goal was to give you a safe place to heal until you're on your feet. Shoving you into an apartment that you can't pay for isn't helping. They rushed me out so fast, and I got a place to live, but I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to continue to pay the rent? I had help getting in here, but now what? I was having a baby. I just had a baby. But, like, what was I supposed to do? I had 6 kids. I needed someone to watch the kids. I needed someone to help me with the bills. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, and I ended up taking him back because promises. I'm a good guy now. I won't hurt you anymore. I love you. Things are going to be better. I'm not going to be spanking the kids anymore. Everything's going to be better now. I got this good job lined up. I got this money coming. I got that money from the VA finally coming. We're going to have a good life and everything's going to be better. Just you wait. Just let me come home. I miss my family. Like, this is shit he would say to me, and it would get in my head, and I was already vulnerable, and I was already weak. I was already scared, and he would promise me that everything would be better, and I would submit. I would become weak to that, and I would be like, okay, I just want things to be better. And they weren't going to be better. They would be worse. And that's what I'm saying. I wish that the shelters keep you, and not even not push you out, but like keep you like at least 6 months to let you break that bond, break the trauma bond, and feel confident in yourself, and to work and save your money so that when you get a place to live, you have the money to pay your rent and get furniture and get on your feet for real. If they had given me 6 months to get on my feet instead of pushing me out before I was ready, I probably never would have gone back. I would have just had 6 kids. I would have healed, and I would have moved on with my life. Maybe I wouldn't have been so helpless and weak and vulnerable, and all his little promises wouldn't have meant as much, especially if I could have gotten some kind of therapy or counseling specifically designed to teach me how to recognize manipulation. You know, I didn't realize, like, I can see that he was a narcissist now. I can see it so clearly now, but I didn't see it then. I thought that he was this smart, confident, strong guy who had shit figured out, and I was just this dumb, weak nobody. I had no friends, and I didn't know how to do anything, and he knew everything, and I just needed him. I needed his help. And I thought that he might not be a good husband, but I mean, he's a good man. He knows how to do a lot of things, and he's a good dad. Like, okay, so he's a bad husband. Maybe it's my fault. It's my fault because I'm not pretty enough, and I'm not smart enough, and I'm too weak, and I need to do more. And maybe if I was a better person, he'd be a better husband. And I always blamed myself. No matter what it was, I always blamed myself so I could forgive him. So if that shelter had actually helped me recognize the patterns and recognize that a narcissist doesn't love, they use. If I had been taught that, maybe I wouldn't have gone back. I would have been like, why the hell would I want to go back to that? Maybe if I had the confidence, maybe if I could have recognized that I could do things on my own, you know? Imagine if they helped you fix your credit and really get on your feet before they throw you back out. Why wouldn't people go back if, you know, they're still scared and still vulnerable? It's the same reasons they were with the guy in the first place. Those things haven't changed. Getting someone away from him for a few minutes isn't going to fix the problem. Even a few months, it needs more time, 6 months to a year, to really break that bond, to build her up, to give her resources. Why don't we do that? Why do we shame her? Why do we blame her? Everyone always blames me. Oh, well, you married him. Yeah, I married a military police officer. I married a man with a good job and a good reputation and awards for bravery and an honorable discharge. Well, he got the honorable discharge a year later. He was actually still in the military. I'm just saying, I married someone who was supposed to be a good man. There was no reason for me to believe he was a bad person other than the fact that he was sometimes disrespectful, which I thought was normal. Sometimes disrespectful. It's just how people treated me. I didn't know that people shouldn't treat other people that way. Everyone always treated me that way. It was normal to be treated that way. Like, I knew I didn't like it. I wouldn't have left him for that. Just a little disrespectful, just a little bit. No, I would have stayed if that's all it was. Because that seemed like that's just how it is when you're in a relationship. That's how men treat women. That's what I thought anyway. It's different now. I know that if I ever got married again, my expectations would be completely different. And I wouldn't marry somebody who was disrespectful and rotten, and who, if there was any indication that he wasn't going to be a good man. But again, I was so young when the relationship started, you know. I mean, I was 20 years old, and like I said, he seemed like a good man. I do ramble. I'm not looking at the comments. I'm sorry. I'm lost in my thoughts, I guess. And in a lot of ways, I feel like this is therapeutic. There is a lot of self-hate and guilt and shame where I feel like things were my fault, even things that were never, ever my fault. Even things that I recognize why, you know, I made that decision or made no decision or whatever. I cannot change the past, and it is important. It's a part of my healing that I have to be able to forgive myself and learn from the mistakes and move forward. I have to. And if you want to hate me because I couldn't make better choices, then that's okay. Maybe, you know, you don't need to follow me. I need to be here for the people who are still in the bad situation so that they can see what happens, so that they can see the aftermath. What happens when you stay too long and it just gets worse and it's always your fault? People aren't going to say, oh, you know, I'm sorry that happened to you. No, they're going to say, why'd you stay? They're going to say, why'd you pick him? They're going to say, it was your fault. And they shouldn't, and they will. And what are you supposed to do? The shelters aren't going to do what you need. Do you have a mom? Do you have a sister? Do you have a best friend? Do you have a grandma? Do you have an aunt? Do you have somebody who will let you stay and really get on your feet? If you do, that's wonderful. Do that. And if you don't, then I feel for you, because what are your choices? What are your options? How are you going to get on your feet? And that's what you have to figure out, because you can't just leave. Sometimes leaving and then going back to it, it's like they get worse to punish you. Maybe you can save money, but lie about what you're saving it for. Make it sound like something that they would want. I'm saving because I want us to go on a vacation together. Pick something that they would like. Or maybe, oh, I'm saving up for our dream wedding, or whatever. Pick something, because if they know you have money, they're not gonna let you have it unless they agree with why you have it. So yeah, pick something. Then you can go to the shelter, but don't tell them you have cash. Don't tell them you have money. You put that shit in your purse. You hide that. So you go to the shelter and you stall for as long as you can. You got to put up with them treating you like shit and blaming you for things. You know, when I was at the shelter, I got in trouble because they had a list, like a menu of what you were supposed to use to cook. You couldn't just get what you wanted to eat. You had to cook what it said you had to cook. So it said egg salad sandwiches. Now, no one's going to cook it for you, but that's what's on the menu. That means that's what you're supposed to cook for yourself. So I made my kids deviled eggs because I'm like, well, they'll eat deviled eggs, but they're not going to eat egg salad sandwiches. I got in trouble because everyone else thought that I was making enough to share. Like, I'm sorry, I have 5 kids and myself, and pregnant, because I was pregnant at the time. I have 5 kids and myself. We eat a lot of eggs, and they were like, well, if you had made them sandwiches instead of deviled eggs, then there would have been more to go around. It's like, okay, but it's not like I ate all the eggs. You say it like I ate all the eggs. I didn't eat all the eggs. There was still eggs. So why did I have to make everybody else's food just because I was making food for my kids? I was the only person, by the way, who boiled eggs that day, and yet I got in trouble. I got disciplined, is what they called it. They disciplined me because you're only allowed 2 eggs per person. And I made more than 2 eggs per person. And I should have shared with everyone else there if I was going to make that many. If I had my kids in the other room, there was chores. I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I did my chore. And yet, if I had the kids in the next room, I had to do my chores. I could not have the kids in the kitchen while I I wasn't watching them. Apparently, I needed to ask someone else to watch the kids. So I'm just supposed to ask a complete stranger who I don't know to watch my kids while I do a chore. Like, it's like they made it impossible. They made it impossible to be there. And so, yeah, I couldn't stay. I think I stayed for 2 months, maybe. And it might have been Catholic Charities that paid my first month's rent and DSS that paid my deposit, or maybe the other way around. And I got a place to live, but then what? I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent after that. I was 9 months pregnant when I moved in there. 10 months maybe. I was like right there. I was like at my due date, maybe past my due date. Anyways, point is, I was not in a position to be self-sufficient, and they knew that, and they were still rushing me out because their goal is to get you back out, not to actually make sure you're on your feet. Maybe it's changed. I doubt it. But that's the kind of help that people need. They need real, actual support long enough to be on their feet so that they don't depend on him, so that the trauma bond can be broken and they don't want to go back, so that they can look back and see and realize that they escaped a nightmare and not want to return to it. But if they're still in the nightmare, then they are too scared to be alone. Of course, you were ungrateful and couldn't follow the rules, so nobody did, by the way. That day that I made my kids deviled eggs instead of egg salad sandwiches, the other girl there made hot dogs for her kids, and I don't even know what the other people there did. But I was the one in trouble, even though I was sticking to it almost exactly. I just didn't think my kids would eat the sandwiches, so I made deviled eggs. Like, should I have just made a bunch of sandwiches that nobody wanted? I don't know. Maybe they would have eaten them. I don't know. I just knew they would eat the deviled eggs, and I figured I would make what I knew they would eat. The only thing I did different was I didn't use bread. I don't see how that should have been something to yell at me for. But how the heck was I supposed to have 5 kids with me in the kitchen while having them not with me in the kitchen at the same time? Like, I needed to be able to keep an eye on them, and I couldn't just trust somebody there. I didn't know those people. It's not like there was a worker that was designated towards doing that. They expected me to ask a complete stranger that I didn't know to keep an eye on my kids while I did my chore. And I didn't know how to do that. So they would, like, call CPS. Oh, she's got her kids in the living room while she's in the kitchen. Like, y'all are fucked up for real. Every time there was a poop diaper, I had to take that poop diaper outside and put it in the dumpster. I was not allowed to keep the poop diaper inside. I couldn't bring the kids outside with me to throw it away. I had to leave the kids inside while I threw it away. But I also had to have somebody watch them. It's like every single time too, so it was really frustrating. Like, they just made it hard to live. And I get it, they didn't want the place to smell like poop diapers. It's whatever. They just made it harder than it needed to be. And it wasn't like every day. It was like every diaper. Every single poop diaper needed to be immediately brought outside. Also, they lied about things. Like, they told me, don't worry about clothes, just get here, we'll provide whatever you need. And then they provided like 2 shirts and a pair of pants for me to split among 5 kids, and then complained that I didn't bring clothes for my kids. Like, you guys told me not to. You pieces of shit. How fucking dare you? And then I thought, well, they probably just didn't have my kids' sizes. And then this other girl comes in and they give her like 5 outfits per kid, and she's only got 2 kids, and the clothes that they gave her were too big for her kid, but actually my kid's size. And I'm like, so you did have clothes my kid's size, you just wanted to punish me for having 5 kids. Thanks. Because that's what it felt like at that point. She had 2 kids and they were helping her, but I had 5 kids, and I was a neglectful piece of crap for not just having my own stuff. It's crazy. So again, making someone feel like shit when they're trying to get help. Even when I first wanted to tell you guys, by the way, when I first tried to tell you guys that my ex was abusive, people didn't believe me. They were making support pages for Marty. Like, I'm on Marty's side. I'm on Marty's side. Support for Marty. Justice for Marty. Veronica's the narcissist. And they believed that I was a liar, and so I stopped talking about it. Or if I did talk about it, it was very subtle. It would be like, oh yeah, here's my ex, he's helping with dinner, he's a good dad, I guess, la la la. Because if I told you guys that, you know, the truth, nobody was going to be like, well, we want to help you. let's get rid of him, they'd be like, oh, you're just a piece of shit because he's around. It's like, I'm sorry, I needed help and I had no help. I didn't know what to do. It's like, picture it like this. Imagine if you're falling off a cliff and the only person who's reaching for your hand and trying to help you is also the person that typically punches you and hits you. And he didn't punch me and hit me, but he did other things. But I'm just saying, let's say the person who abused you is literally the only person trying to help you. And there's other people and they don't care and they're mocking you, and he's reaching his hand out and saying, let me help you. You're in trouble, let me help you. Would you be like, no, I guess I die, and then just fall? Like, it was just a bad situation where I was desperately in need of help and no one would help. And the only person that would was the person that abused me, and I didn't know what to do, and it was confusing. And it made it easy for him to manipulate me. I was vulnerable. I was weak. I was sick. My son was sick. COVID had just happened. And I know some of you are going to see it as, oh, she's just making excuses. I don't care. I'm just telling you what happened. I was vulnerable. I was weak. I needed help. And no one else would help. I didn't know what to do. And I was scared. And I froze. And I didn't make the right choice. And even now, like, I'm sure I would make different choices now going back, but I didn't think I could at that time. I don't know. Well, anyways, I should get off here. I'm losing daylight, and there's a lot of things I want to do before it gets dark and I start to get tired. But before I go, let me show you, those of you who weren't here earlier, some things that I've learned. If you've ever watched All Dogs Go to Heaven, I was teaching myself my favorite song from that movie. The song, it starts off, and I can't do it on here. There's only a part I can do, but it's, all I have is a picture in my mind how it would be if we were together. Let's pretend that you're far away. Let's say you write to me, and you promise in your letter you'll come home to my heart. That song. So anyways, it's soon you'll come home to my heart. Soon you'll come home to my heart. Well, anyway, and that's about as far as I can do. I can only do that. I'm teaching myself. I just taught myself that this morning. Oh, and I also taught myself a little bit more. Gonna lie, that's funny. Anyways, I also taught myself on your knees, oh, hear the angel voice was born. And I'm agnostic, by the way, but I can't get the song out of my head. So that's why I've learned to play it, and I'm getting a little further every time. The last time I wasn't that far with it. I just kind of did the first part, and I'm like getting a little more and more, so. But anyway, again, I'm teaching myself, so, and I can do Mary Had a Little Lamb, but that one's easy. You can literally do that anywhere. Like, literally, like, I can show you. Hold on. Or,
you can do that anywhere. But then there was... Well, I'm trying to learn, so... Fine, whatever. Was born. Like I said, I did teach myself. I'm not religious, I'm agnostic. That song's been in my head. And then I, of course, know this one. And it's not perfect because I think I need a regular guitar, not a ukulele, and I don't have the right string, but I'm making it work. Christ was born. Sorry, I'm not the best singer. What do you want? Everything I do, I'm self-taught. Sheesh. Was born. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the voice below. Night, when Christ was born. So again, for being completely self-taught and not even hearing that song forever and not even knowing what any of these strings are called or not looking at a book, not watching a video, literally completely self-taught, I am proud of myself. And that's fine if I'm a joke to you, but I'm proud of myself. And I feel like this is therapeutic and healing, and it's helping me learn that I can learn things. Everybody wants me to believe that I'm trash and that I shouldn't exist and that everything I do is wrong. And I like knowing that I have music in me. And it helps me to like myself more. And that's an important part of my healing, is learning that I am worthy of existing and worthy of being liked and worthy of being loved, even if you can't see it. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voice below. Are you depressed? Usually. I don't know that I've ever not been depressed. I feel like that's just kind of my default state. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. If I keep dreaming of you, start believing it's true, soon you'll come home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Which, by the way, I can do it two different ways. I noticed this and this are going to give me the same sound, and probably because this thing's a little out of tune, but that's okay. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home. So I don't know which one is correct, because they both sound pretty much the same to me. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. There we go. I guess I'm teaching myself. I make mistakes. I'm still learning. Soon you'll come home. Soon you'll come home to my heart. Soon you'll come home to my heart. I got my ukulele from the thrift store. Fall on your knees, hear your voice oh, night when Christ was born. Fall on your knees, oh, I hate when my fingers are sweaty and they get stuck, and then I lift my finger and it makes its own little. Anyway, I'm still learning, so. I know I'm not the best singer in the world. I'm trying to teach myself. I figure if I can learn to make the notes, I'll be able to learn to sing. Like, when I go to karaoke, I sing, Creep. Excuse me. I'm not that good at it yet. But I love that song. When you were here before, couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You float like a feather in a beautiful world. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Don't care if it hurts. I wanna have control. I want a perfect body. I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice when I'm not around. I wish I was special. You're so fucking special. But I'm a creep. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Oh, oh. He's running out the door. So I'm practicing. Run. Anyways, it's fine if you don't like it. You literally don't have to listen to me. I know I'm not the best singer. I'm trying to learn. He's running out the door. He's running out. He's run. Anyways. Just like an angel, your skin makes me cry. Anyways. See, that's how I try to learn the notes. I hum to try to match. So I try to hum it. So that's how I'm trying to teach myself how to sing. Was born. Anyway, like I said, I'm just learning, so. Aw, well, happy birthday to your sister, girl boss. I'm just a kid. Yeah, right. That's going to take some practice. I have to learn that. I actually can't even think of it. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I have to, like, learn the notes a little bit better before I could, you know. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. I'm just a kid and life is a nightmare. So right now I'm still trying to stick to what I know, but that's something to think about. I probably have to listen to that one again. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. Soon you'll come home, home to my heart. She wants to go home, but nobody's home. That's where she lies, broken inside. She's lost inside. That's the one I probably should learn. She wants to go home, but nobody's home. That's where she lies, broken inside. Anyways, I gotta get off here. I don't feel good. I do have a lot of things to do. I went to the store earlier to get some cleaning supplies. Got some mean green. I'm just a mean green mother from outer space and I'm bad. I am gonna clean the porch. I don't feel right, like my stomach hurts. I feel shaky and weak and my stomach hurts. Fall on your knees, oh hear the angel voice sing, go night. Am I okay? I'm okay. I'm a little depressed, but things are going okay. Things are going in the right direction. I need to cheer up and get to work. It's just some days I am in a lot of emotional pain, you know, and it's harder than it should be. Some days I'm okay. Just feeling overwhelmed. Can't go back in time. Can't fix anything. I'm trying. Some people see that. Some people don't. I do. Like I said, I'm really proud of myself. There's people who don't come out of it as well as I have. And I am very lucky, at least, that I am still alive and still well enough to try to make things right, and that I didn't just die with everything wrong. I could have. I could have died with everything in shambles and everything unhealed. So many things unsaid and undone. But I didn't. And so I have to think that this is an opportunity. That even though it's hard right now and I'm struggling and it hurts, that this was like a second chance at life, at healing, at making things right. Sometimes I fall into the sadness, the nothingness, you know, and it swallows me, and it's too hard, and I feel like I can't do it. It's too hard. I just want to give up. I don't have the strength. I can't do it. And then other times I'm like, but you really need to remember that you can walk and you can breathe and you can see your kids. You can fix things. Things can get better. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm gonna have to get off here because the negativity is draining. You know, I feel like I got on here thinking that there would be more support and it would, you know, the positivity would give me a boost so that I could get things done. And instead, I feel more drained and heavy and weak. So I'm just going to get off here because I have too much to do to allow other people to drag me down when I'm trying. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll be back. Let me just get a little bit done so I can feel like I accomplished something and feel a little bit more confident in myself, and then I'll come back. Okay. So yeah, I hope you have a good day.